headline says a quarter of the girls in the UK self-harm at 14.
Yeah, and actually this doesn't surprise me. And actually, I used to self-harm at 14, 15.
You didn't?
What
did you do?
So I used to cut myself.
Why?
So there is a lot of pressure.
Why?
There was a lot of pressure when I was younger, and also I had big boobs from an early age, and I was very sexualised and slut-shamed despite not doing anything.
Really?
And I just felt a lot of pressure, and not just by my fellow pupils, but also by teachers, because they wouldn't let me wear the same clothes that other girls could wear. And I was 14, I didn't understand, and I knew that I was morally intact. And even if I wasn't, so it was a really difficult time. So this article actually says that 1 in 4 girls self-harm and nearly 1 in 10 boys. So it does actually affect boys as well. And it comes down to a combination of pressure from the school, austerity and gender expectations, and the pressure to live up to them. So, I just think, obviously it is sad, but also not surprising.
I mean, a lot of these young girls say they don't feel pretty enough. Why you would resort to damaging yourself doing that instead of maybe talking to someone or doing something else?
But also I think a lot of the time you don't know who to talk to, or it's just like a release or maybe a cry for attention. I think people do it for different reasons. And when I was younger, there wasn't social media, and I feel pressure with social media. So I can't imagine what it's like to grow up. And also when I was at school, it was only one-on-one bullying. Now you have Facebook bullying. You go home and there's still people on Instagram, on social media. There's girls that feel pressure to send nude pictures of themselves that then go up online. I think there's immense pressure on girls and boys to look and feel a certain way. And I think, there's TV shows, adverts, diet pills, all of these things that are being irresponsibly advertised and promoted by influencers. And that's why I do think it's so important that anyone with a voice should be using it to show that flaws are normal and diet pills are not acceptable.
You've obviously got over it now. How did you come through that? Because we're going to have a lot of young people watching this programme, a lot of parents worried about young people who say, hey, come on, here's a girl who did this. What was your solution?
Do you know what? I met a boy who became my boyfriend of 7 years. We're not together anymore, but he made me see it wasn't the right way. And a brilliant teacher, my headmaster's wife, she kind of connected to me, and she was the first teacher that didn't kind of put me down, and she sat and talked to me. My parents found out and they listened and they understood, and I think it was realising that actually I wasn't alone, and actually it wasn't really the right thing to do. And also it became a bit embarrassing because I also ran for my county and I had to run in long sleeves, and I don't know, I just realised that there were good people that I could talk to.
I think the answer is, first of all, talk to your parents, but also, of course, there's an organisation called Mind, which actually specialises in helping young people, and Childline. There are so many organisations. So clearly the secret is don't keep it in.
Yeah.
Well done.
Talk about it. Well done you for doing that. Yeah. Well done. And Kevin, there was... you were looking aghast while Ashley was talking.
Well, look, I'm lucky I've not suffered these problems, but Ashley talking about that, as Grace earlier about her mum, it does help people, and we don't want people to think it's only them or to suffer in silence. And you discuss it and you come through it and how you get help. It's really important we air that. And there used to be a time everyone suffered in silence. We don't want anyone to suffer.